Welcome to this new video where we will do some coding assisted with AI this time, and I will be working on a food tracker app because it's very exciting, I would say. So what I'm going to do now, I was looking at recent changes, and what I really want to show you first is the danger of having GitHub Copilot. In our case, I have done some other videos with Cursor. Now I'm more focusing on the new GitHub Copilot versions, like the really good ones. Copilot was quite behind at some point compared to Windsurf and Cursor and similar AI tools. Now Copilot is almost as good as Cursor, so I'm back using Copilot. And the first thing I wanted to show you, you can give instructions, and that's really good. This tool, instructions, and so it will load instructions you want Copilot to follow. You can even generate one. Before, Cursor didn't allow to have a generated instruction file, but it did have the instruction Cursor rules file. So in Cursor, it's Cursor rules for quite some time. With Copilot is instructions. You have a lot of different options too, as you can see, prompt files, instructions. So that's for the prompt. And then we have tool sets. Again, you can create a new toolset file. And lastly, you have the MCP server. So here it's reading in my repo for generating that specific instructions, MD. So it's a markdown actually file. So it will create a new folder inside of my .github folder. So the .github, usually it has like actions, like GitHub actions, workflows, and so pipelines, CI/CD pipelines in the GitHub folder. It will have also other specific GitHub related files like donation. It can have, various configurations, usually specific to the GitHub platform. And then Copilot, because Copilot belongs to GitHub, it's also inside of the .github folder. So you have .github/Copilot, and then you have a instructions plural .md for markdown, and that's the generated one we have, which looks quite good, to be honest. I kind of like it. So it's a React Native application, my app. So I have built it before without AI because it's like 2 years old, the app, and before I wasn't really using AI. So I'm a software engineer. I'm a senior software engineer for now over 12 years, I mean, professionally with commercial experience for 10 years, a little bit more. And then, before when I was still a student, probably easily roughly 12 plus years, 12, 13. And since 2012, actually 2011. So wow, that has been a long time. And I would say now it has never been as excited as now. So it's a super good time to build applications and to build really cool stuff, tools you love. That's what matters the most. So that's our Copilot instructions files. And you can see it has a Copilot -instructions. It's actually my bad. I didn't read correctly. I thought before, here we don't really see correct. It's hard to see, but it's not a Copilot folder. It's Copilot -instructions. So that's the difference actually. And that's fine. So we will commit that. Sorry, my bad. We didn't have a GitHub folder before for this project. So I will quickly commit that GitHub folder, and we can actually generate a commit message. Again, it's done with the GitHub Copilot extension. So when we go to our extensions, you can see here, if we look at all extensions I have, can we make it smaller? Yes. So we can see here, thanks to the GitHub Copilot extensions, I can generate a GitHub commit message. Before, it used to be part of the GitHub Labs. That was a long time ago. It was like back in 2023, so almost 2 years ago. Wow. I did a video actually at that time already. It's available on my YouTube channel if you're curious how it used to be, but now it's a little bit different. And so you have the little like stars here, you click there, it generates for you with a beautiful Git prefix. So it's like a convention kind of, where you would have a prefix for your Git message. And here it's related to docs, documentation. And so that's why the prefix is like docs. Otherwise you have chore, you have feat, you have fix, and you have cleanup, you have cleanup, yes, you have refactor, and so on. But in our case, it's docs. So I commit that one. And now I wanted to speak about something quite important. So we have our beautiful instructions file, that's fine. But when we use and when we rely on AI, we have to be careful, because usually it would add extra code that actually is not needed. And I have plenty of examples. And so it's making our app slower and heavier for no reason, basically. So one of the example I had, size optimization, cleanup, refactor. And sometimes it will say, yes, you can remove this, and actually it's not true and you cannot. So here, that's a really good example, this commit. So I did ask to reuse the same format mill time than what I have. So that's inside of our food label file. It's basically to show labels, to have it uploaded somewhere. My phone is not nearby me, but it's to show the calories indicator, the food rating, star rating indicator. The Nova is like a kind of classification to show how processed is a meal. And we have multiple labels, and I wanted to have the same function that I do use inside of my meal cart. So this one, meal cart, I have format meal time. And what it did, it changed also. So in our food label here, it changed and it added this one with a require, like a dynamic require. And it does that quite often actually. And so it would try to import this one with a format meal time short that was already removed, but it still got that one in cache. And the app was obviously crashing because that function format meal time short didn't exist anymore, and the way how it's been imported, it's not the clean way. And that's, something you have to be careful about. Even worse, sometimes it will just add like extra, especially for the style. So for the style here, for our style sheet create, it will add more like text align center. It would add extra 100% width, max width 100%. It would also add extra like what it did for me. Even this one, align items, we have two. And left, we have actually 4. And indicator row, we have 1. Left column, we have 1. Row, value row, where does it belong? I believe that one is not even needed. And when we ask, sometimes it says, yeah, you can remove, and then it would break something. Sometimes it would don't remove, and you can remove it. So you have to be like vigilant. And that's really what I wanted to say. Never trust 100%. Don't be blind. If we do ask, are there any redundant? And there we would, for the flex start, I also got some redundant ones. Actually, some redundant ones. Here we would only focus on the flex end for now. Are there any redundant flex ends in the style sheet of food label component? Something very cool is that you can speak directly here. And that's really nice. You just have to install an extension, and then you can just speak. I already have the extension, and you can speak, and it's very efficient. Okay, and I paste this. Pasting the component is useful, handy when GitHub Copilot still have the previous cache version of your component from before. And so it will give back a older version, a outdated version. So sometimes I would like copy paste my whole component inside of the prompt, so it got the newest version. And so there are no redundant aligned text and root component. They only Organds is okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, my bad. And then we would do for the start one. So that was for the end. So now if I do option arrow up, and I would ask the same for the flex start. So this one where we have only two, so I believe that's fine. But before I had some bad surprises like this. So you just have to question your AI model with this kind of prompt. Always to reevaluate itself, the answer it gives back to you. And see yourself as a product owner. You have all of the details and you know exactly what has to be built, and you speak to your AI like your software engineers. You communicate very clearly, and with all details it needs, so there's no misunderstanding between you and your agent, your AI agent. And that's really the most efficient way you can code, you can develop software applications in 2025. It's super handy. It changes your whole life. Like when you are super good at prompting all of the details it needs with all of the context, you can easily add more files and even folders. You will prevent, having mistakes you are not supposed to have. So it's really about learning how it works and always being open to new ways, better ways to improve your prompt and the way you can build software and how you can optimize your time better and how you can change and iterate. AI models are like almost every month, they are being improved. They are better and better and better. But so you also have to improve the way you communicate to them to have 100% of the power of the models. Otherwise, you will be left behind. So it's really important to always keep yourself improving how I can do better with the new improvements, with the new features, and how I can elevate myself. And that's really the right mindset you can develop each day on a daily basis. So here again, I believe that one is fine too. Let's see. Yeah. So let's see if I do have other examples. Oh yeah, when you are building a React Native application, it's nice to do cleanups and removing, like binary files, images, and so on that are not used. So you can reduce the build, the binary app where people will download the app, and so it will take less space. And in my case, when my storage of my iPhone is full, the first thing I do is to look to the apps that take most of the storage, that are quite large, like where the file is quite large. Which app I can do a test right now. So on my phone, if I tap storage, and I don't want people to delete my food tracker app, right away. I don't want my app to be the first one to be deleted. So I really want to ensure that the size of my app is quite small. So you see here, okay, podcast, it's okay because, the podcast app, I have downloaded some podcasts, so that's fine. But some banking apps, 500 MB is quite a lot. YouTube, always, it's a large one, and that's usually the first one I would delete. Another banking app, like 321 MB. Megabyte, and then most of the apps 121, it's also quite a lot. Things also 118 MB megabyte. Then my university app 57, and so you would go like from top to bottom and you would see which ones are the heaviest one, and you would delete the first ones, or at least you would use the offload option. I recommend you to always optimize the size of your app. And you can also delete unused packages. So again, here, the unused packages is very important. So you have the dev dependencies, but in your dependencies that will be included in the production build, you can always have a look. I already did this cleanup, so I know all of them are being used, but it's something very, very useful to do. Like React Native, save area context. Is that one? Oh yeah, that one is also being used. So that's fine. Yeah, it's been used there. Okay, so that's really good recommendations. I would really highly suggest you to do. So here, yeah, that was the cleanup I had to do in my food label file, and here, yeah, that was expected. But so often I see AI doing, you see, that's what AI did, and I didn't see that one. and it added something that is invalid, or something, a lot of time it will be just redundant, or it wouldn't do the proper cleanup it needs to. So you can also ask in your prompt, please remove any unused files or unused imports after refactoring my code, or things like that. And once you do that, once you take that habit, after you will be good to go and you will improve yourself step by step. I wish you a happy AI coding. This is the end of this video. And yeah, just, be open to learn something new each day. It's super important, and always seek for improvements. Like every day is a new opportunity to improve. Every day you have the chance to be better, to be more proactive. And by proactive is to use your time better and to see what you can do in the meantime, to not waste your time or your energy by doing something that is pointless. Like it's about what you do, about your activity and how you can make it more efficient. And you can take actions in the meantime to unblock a situation that was a blocker for you, and so on. All right, we'll see in another video. And once again, I'm so happy to hear any feedback from you, or, I always read every comment. Even if I don't answer to them, I'll read them. So don't hesitate to comment on my video, or to give your opinion, to give any related things, like what do you do for you, how do you do your day better, and how do you organize your day as a software engineer. And it's not only about using AI, but it's also about having a well-balanced day and having a healthy and balanced day, like how you organize your tasks and what do you do, like having a break. Often enough, like AI is good. We are way more productive, but the problem is that then we want to do more, and we want to do more and more and more. And the competition it has never been as hard and high as nowadays. And every day there's a new rat race, and the rat race, sometimes it would give you a burnout. So you also have to be careful to treat yourself really well. That's also part of being a good software engineer, is knowing your body and knowing what you can do and to know the limit.